All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks The Podcast, episode 122. Today on the show, the kids are not all right. We're going to tell you guys about an uptick in violent crime involving 12 to 13-year-olds in urban decay. Then, in housekeeping, we'll give you an update on all the wars, and we'll remind you why diversity is not our strength. And then in Cringe of the Week, we are going to tell you about how the term is considered racist now, and Xbox is trying to become the next Budlight. All this and more, it's Fleccas Talks The Podcast, episode 122, ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words, but at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
It's Fleccas Talks The Podcast featuring Richard Grab.
All right, one for one on the intro, as always. Guys, this week's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Allegiance Gold. As a lot of you know, we are teetering on the brink of an economic meltdown that's threatening to wash away your savings and retirement. Inflation has surged to levels unseen in 40 years, prices are spiraling out of control, our money buys less and less, and Americans are incurring more debt just to stay afloat. Gasoline prices are spiking and your monthly bills are escalating. This is what inflation is, that silent evil force that eats away your wallet and purchasing power. Basic necessities are now unattainable luxuries, and when prices spiral out of control, they not only disrupt your ability to live day to day, they also jeopardize your savings and retirement. You can't let this happen. Protect your retirement with gold. Gold is the smartest and most responsible investment you can make for you and your family. It's a safe haven asset that protects your purchasing power and your wallet from inflation. It's just financially smart for all of us to diversify our retirement accounts with gold and protect what we've worked so hard for. When it comes to protecting your IRA or 401k, I would only trust the best, my friends at Allegiance Gold. Get up to $5,000 in free silver on qualifying purchases when you visit protectwithfleccas.com today or give them a call at 844-4FLECCA. That's 844-435-3222. Now let's get into housekeeping. All right, thank you to Allegiance Gold for sponsoring.
Thank you.
It's always good to have gold and silver physical.
Yeah.
It's very important. All right, we have some updates. We have very important housekeeping this week, as always. We have wars on many fronts.
Multi-fronts, yeah.
Multi-fronts. We have some stuff to update you guys on. Russia, Ukraine, let's start there. There was an NBC News headline. Can you give that a read?
Yeah, U.S. and European officials have begun quietly talking to the Ukrainian government about what possible peace negotiations with Russia might entail to end the war, according to one current senior U.S. official and one former senior U.S. official.
Interesting. And they're calling it a stalemate now?
Yeah, they're calling it a stalemate to describe the current battle in Ukraine, with some saying it may come down to which side can maintain a military force the longest.
Yeah, so it's a stalemate now. Remember,
one side's sitting on, like, I don't know how much natural gas and oil, and then the other side's just sitting on the U.S. taxpayer dollars.
Which are hopefully coming to an end.
Yeah, so I don't know how long a stalemate like that can last. Nuclear power, oil, industrial machine versus, you know, that little landlocked type of country. Yeah.
Who's already been like wiped out basically, manpower wise.
Yeah. Not exactly landlocked, and I think that's part of the land grab, but you know.
Remember in the beginning we said don't fight. It's not going to go how you want. It's going to end
100,000 plus dead.
It's going to end with tons of dead people and money laundering from the U.S. Now it looks like we got that right, unfortunately.
Yeah. Someone needs to apologize to someone. It's not us.
And everyone was saying, oh, we need to push back against Putin. Ben Shapiro was saying we need to defang Russia.
Yeah.
And we said, no, you guys are going to get smoked. Now they're done. They lost, and they're going to make a deal. And there's hundreds of thousands of dead people, mostly Ukrainians.
Yeah, you could have made that deal before the hundreds of thousands died. But, you know, Dan Crenshaw and those types wanted to, defang Russia.
Defang Russia. Okay. Everyone's dead. We're Putin's puppets.
Yeah.
So we got that one right. Feel free to send apologies to the P.O. Box. There was a Cernovich tweet that kind of summed it up, too.
It was a human sacrifice, but I learned who are the real scum of the earth. Those who claimed to support Ukraine, and by that, they meant continuing the war. Yeah. I mean, hey, war is hell. People die. Young men with bright futures. All for some politician fat cat to be like, we can really take out some tanks in Russia. You know, it's like, all right, dude, humans are dying.
Yeah. Well, at least all the weapons that we gave them will be sold in the black market and probably used against us one day.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing whose hands those end up in.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It's like the entire war was already fought and lost when Ukraine was making those initial appeals to America and other countries to intervene and join NATO and like do this and enact collective defense. Once that wasn't done, then it was a war of attrition where Ukrainian men die 4-1 compared to Russian soldiers, and you hold on as long as you can, pretty much.
Well, at least BlackRock got a country out of it.
Oh, Lockheed Martin had a good quarter.
Yeah, BlackRock is in charge of the reconstruction bank that's going to happen in Ukraine, so they got a whole country out of it.
Yep.
We can launder a bunch of money through Ukraine now, and then all of the men that would have probably stopped the corruption were murdered in the war.
Yeah, and a couple Ukrainian oligarch types, they got some nice new boats.
Nice new boats. So there's ups and downs to war.
Yeah, of course.
There's always a different side of it. So as things slow down in Russia and Ukraine, things are obviously ramping up in the Middle East, which obviously everyone knows war in the Middle East usually ends in mass migration of millions of displaced third worlders that probably will enter through Europe and America. That's usually how it goes. Here's some multiculturalism in Germany. Here they go.
What kind of flag is that?
Takbir! Takbir! Takbir!
I don't recognize some of those flags.
I recognize some of those flags. So we got the Al-Qaeda flag, the ISIS flag.
Yeah, that's it.
And then what's that tweet say?
It says they fled Syria and Iraq to escape the clutches of ISIS, departed Afghanistan due to Al-Qaeda's presence, yet upon reaching Germany, they raised the flags of ISIS and Al-Qaeda, lending support to ISIS, Hamas terrorists in Gaza against Israel. So, yeah.
Yeah. But diversity is our strength. We can't forget that. We actually found an old article from 2007.
Yeah, the New York Times said they were trying. This was, I guess, when they were genuinely trying to understand the world instead of just be a propaganda international mouthpiece. And it said, the greater the diversity in a community, the fewer people vote and the less they volunteer, the less they give to charity and work on community projects. In the more diverse communities, neighbors trust one another about half as much as they do in the most homogenous settings. The study, the largest ever on civic engagement in America, found that virtually all measures of civic health are lower in more diverse settings. So they rebundled that, and then they said, are all these things good? Yeah, they're our strength, actually.
Yeah.
Less voting, less civil engagement. They threw that out and are propagandizing instead. So thank you, New York Times.
Yeah, thank you, New York Times. And all those reasons that New York Times mentioned in 2007, those are all true. And that's why Israel doesn't take in refugees.
I applaud them on that.
Yeah.
That's a great decision.
Smart move.
Yeah.
But that's their reason for not. But then I guess Europe and America, they're not allowed to have that take because I guess it's racist.
Yeah.
Speaking of Israel, we have some updates there. There was a propaganda piece that was released. It was about how everyone's taking down the signs of the kidnapped people in Israel. And here it is.
And like every commercial we see these days,
the bad guys are white people.
Blonde white women. There she goes. Nordic, Scandinavian type. Everyone's watching.
So the diversity is.
You couldn't get the Palestinian crisis actor to do this? That guy? You couldn't get one like that?
It's all white people, no matter what. So diversity is our strength, which is why we have to bring everyone in. But then the people that you bring in that are against Jewish people and ripping down those posters, we can't label them as diverse because that would be racist. So we have to blame it on white people again.
We're stuck in an endless loop.
We're stuck in an endless loop where white people can't do anything right.
Yep.
There's a new campaign going around. It's called Would You Hide Me? CJ Pearson from PragerU did a video on it. Let's just let it rip. Let's just let it play.
Would you hide me? This is a new viral movement that has taken the internet by storm, and it's in response to the wave of anti-Semitism and pro-Hamas protests that we have seen all across this country after October 7th. And it's a question that I've got to say that is a little bit unsettling for me to answer, because is the answer yes? Of course it is. I stand by my Jewish brothers and sisters, as every Christian should. But it is a shame that in 2023, we even have to ask the question, would you hide me? But it is still a necessary question, because when you look at the news, when you look in the streets, and you hear people chanting Intifada, You hear them chanting from the river to the sea. It becomes a question that now merits an answer. But I've got to say, I've got to push back because I don't believe that we should be hiding anybody. Jewish people should not have to live in fear in any single place in the world. They shouldn't. And they definitely shouldn't have to do it in the United States of America. It's a damn shame. And so, would I hide you? Yes. But more importantly, I will fight beside you because we will win this fight. Humanity will win this fight.
Let's all calm down a little bit.
That was a little aggressive, I'd say. I don't know.
It's like, oh, I'll stand beside you and fight. It's like, they might send you in first to take the brunt of it. Let's just all kind of calm down here a little bit. And if anything, I think the people who are getting rounded up and need to be worried about, like, would you hide me, are MAGA Republicans.
I mean,
Like,
yeah.
Owen Schroyer is in solitary confinement right now.
Yeah.
There was an article that just came out. According to the media, MAGA and Christian nationalism is a bigger threat to America than Hamas could ever be.
Thanks, Salon.
Yeah, that's from Salon. So it's like, my question is, like, would the Jews hide me?
That's what kind of thought that we've had. Nobody was standing up or calling for any dangerous rhetoric when white people were villainized for the last 5 years, like to the worst dehumanizing way ever. Why whiteness needs to be eradicated and stuff like that. It's like, whiteness? What do you mean? That immutable characteristic that I have? Wow, that's crazy. So, I mean, everybody's getting whipped up into a frenzy for this, which I guess it's the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know where everybody was for the anti-whiteness stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Would you hide me? Oh, you're going to hide me? No. CJ Pearson, are you going to hide me? CJ, I need you to hide me. Is there any place in your little apartment where I won't be seen? Maybe behind the curtain, CJ? Are the curtains long enough or my feet going to stick out? Because if my feet stick out, they're going to see me. They're going to see me if my feet stick out. If the curtains aren't long enough. I was going to do a voice. I was going to do like a bit where it's like, would the Jewish people hide me? And then I was going to say in like a voice like, oh, yeah, I'll hide you. We can figure out the rent later. And I was also going to say like, oh, you know, because it is life and death, I think 15% of your future earnings is very fair. And then I was going to do one more where I said, well, you need to pay more for the utilities because you're home all day and I'm not. But I decided not to because it's like a tasteless joke.
It is tasteless.
That would be tasteless.
So good on you for not doing those
But
bits.
CJ, please hide me somewhere where no one will see me. Oh man,
everyone's going crazy. Everyone goes crazy, but then somehow casting is the two Swedish blonde girls.
Yeah,
everyone goes crazy except when it's time to cast the commercial
and to say what's going on.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
And part of what's going on,
and what's going on is these people who were recently imported and recently enabled are very, very anti-Jewish. They're extremely anti-white as well, but nobody gave a fuck during that time when they were marching with the Black Lives Matters types.
Yes.
You know, nobody gave a fuck then.
Exactly. And that's the whole point. It's like now everyone comes out and cares, and it's like Ben Shapiro and Prager and all these people come out and care because they have like this extra interest in Israel.
Yeah.
Which I don't have.
Of course
not. I don't really care about Israel. I care about America, and white people are under attack in America, and that is in my best interest and like my actual interest.
Yeah, we're currently being displaced at a rate of 300,000 illegal immigrants crossing the border a month, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that like happening right now?
But like saying that is, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. Oh, that's replacement theory. But then it's like we have to go defend Israel, who's doing all the things that I wish America was doing.
Yeah.
Like maintaining its culture and keeping people out.
Having strict standards.
Yeah. And then also keep in mind this whole campaign of would you hide me makes everyone think like, oh, Jewish people are under attack. Following that terrorist attack, which was horrible, the innocent people died. It's very sad. Not saying that was fine. But everyone's assuming, oh, would you hide me? Jewish people are constantly under attack. When right now, Palestinian civilians are getting killed at a very high rate. There's more dead Palestinian civilians right now than Jewish civilians that died in that terrorist attack.
Yeah, I don't care about that either that much, to be honest.
What I'm just saying, it's like,
hey,
civilian
you're in a war now.
Yeah, civilian deaths is bad on no matter what, and both sides are doing it. So it's not as easy as this side's the good side, this side's the bad side. Both sides have their innocence, both sides have their problems.
Once again, war is hell. A lot of people are going to die while politicians and Lindsey Graham types go, oh, I don't care about the civilian death toll.
Yeah.
Until we flatten them. You know,
war
is
so ugly. We don't need CJ Pearson to hide anybody. We're not being mean.
He's going to get mad at you for this.
Don't be mad at me, CJ. I'm just doing a bit on the show.
Yeah.
We're just doing a joke. All right, let's move on. The Navy promoted a new lady. Deb is now in charge.
Yeah, Deb's in charge. The Senate just confirmed Admiral Lisa Franchetti.
Oh, not Deb, it's Lisa.
As Chief of Naval Operations. And look at all those medals she's got.
She must have won a lot of wars.
Yeah, what wars do we have recently? What did she win? A lot of Battleship in the Pacific was getting played recently.
Yeah. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I wish that she was a trans person.
Ooh.
Because then
it would be a man.
She'd at least be a man.
She'd at least be a man. All right, I got you.
All right, we have to move on. We're on page 3 of housekeeping. It's a very important housekeeping. Use this opportunity to tickle the post, like the video, leave a comment again, and then eventually comment whatever you actually want to talk about. Make sure notifications are on too. And then also we have a P.O. box. If you guys want to send us stuff to the P.O. box, we have a P.O. box. We've been getting a lot of stuff and we really appreciate it. It's linked in the description. All right. As you guys know, we are in a 2-tier justice system. That's fair to say, right? Remember that lawyer during the George Floyd riots who threw a Molotov cocktail at a cop car?
Yeah, I remember.
So she got in trouble and was about to get 45 years in jail. But then Biden's DOJ knocked that out to 12 months.
Yep.
12 months.
Got him a nice little plea deal, 12 months and a $30,000 fine.
And everyone, there's an article, 56 former prosecutors write to appeals court in support of bail for lawyers accused of throwing Molotov cocktail at a police vehicle. So everyone came out of the woodwork to support these people. The judge basically apologized.
Yeah.
And then, can you read that last part?
Yeah.
This is what was said about this trial.
Tossing the Molotov cocktail was a way of expressing anger at those police officers around the country for whom Black lives did not matter, Rahman's lawyer wrote to a Brooklyn federal court judge.
So
sounds like it was the language of the unheard. It was mostly peaceful. It was a Molotov fucking cocktail at a cop car.
So that person is getting 12 months instead of 45 years throwing a Molotov cocktail at a cop car. But then Enrique from the Proud Boys is getting 22 years for January 6th, and he wasn't even there.
Was he there on
No.
January 6th? No? Okay.
22 years.
22 years, yeah.
So, CJ Pearson, will you hide Enrique?
That's a good question.
I would.
That's a good...
If he came here.
You would? It's like he's wanted, federal warrant. Hey, all right, yeah, you can see here.
And then I get arrested for willingness to lock up a fugitive or whatever, not
aiding
even
and
doing
abetting.
it. Willing to aid in the bet.
Yeah, they would. You thought about doing it. You made a bit on your podcast, and that was enough.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on. The manifesto pieces of it were released by Team Crowder.
Yeah, good. Hey.
Great find.
Huge get.
Yeah, that's a huge get. Everyone wanted that one.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I was going to say, we don't even want to talk about the manifesto itself. It was heavily anti-white, anti-Christian, which is what we were talking about, right?
Yeah.
Anti-white. All that rhetoric, that you think it goes nowhere, or does it spiral and schizo people's minds, and then they commit crimes and mistreat white people? But we're not going to go through it bit by bit. Go read it. Everyone needs to read the firsthand material, right?
Yep, exactly. Anti-white for sure. And then Jeremy Boring had an interesting tweet about it.
We're not going to Jeremy Boring goes, Crowder is a dishonest, spiteful, narcissistic scumbag who even in his victories can't help but portray most everyone else doing good work in our space, including those who have sued for the release of this manifesto, like the TN Star, as somehow not sufficiently pure or dedicated or conservative. His no true Scotsman stick is offensive and tired, but credit where it's due. He landed a huge and important scoop here.
So after all that, oh, good job, Crowder.
Jeremy Boring had a fucking nuke lined up. He chose violence. I don't know why.
And then John Doyle had a good tweet too that really summed it up.
He said the leaked pages from the Nashville shooter are interesting because it was understandably thought that the reason they wouldn't release them is because the sentiment would be calling for the death of anyone who opposes the woke LGBT agenda. But there is actually no mention of that in the pages. Just the only thing that can truly unify this incredibly diverse left-wing coalition: hatred of normal white people.
Yeah, and that's what it is.
That's a driving force of a lot of stuff recently.
And they pretend, oh, it's the Republicans or oh, it's the Christians that are too overbearing and oppressive on the trans people. It's just white people.
Yeah.
And that's why the white people that are liberals are so stupid. Because they're
Well, and she was white. The shooter was white. That's how much it was a brain venom toxic thing.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
she goes, yeah, fuck white people. I'm in on it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on. Ron, teleprompter boy.
Yeah, what do you got here? This video?
Yeah.
Can we get rid of these teleprompters? We have a president. We don't even know who the president is who's ever loading the teleprompter. No, I don't think we need that in Florida. Let's get those done. You got to speak from the heart. It's not about reading off a teleprompter. We are the freest state in all of these United States. The free state of Florida.
So that was right after his wife gave a speech off the teleprompter.
Yeah.
And it's like him doing
I was going to say him looking at his notes, like,
Yeah.
all right, then call out the teleprompter. Okay.
Yeah. Can we get the teleprompter out of here? All right, teleprompters are going down. Wait for them to go down. Yeah, you got to speak from the heart here in Florida. Whoa. Sorry, it's hard to balance on these stilts. Oh, he's trying to. You remember Trump had that moment where he's like, "Turn the lights off, turn them off, turn them off."
Yeah.
He's trying to do one of those.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I can't blame the guy for trying.
Get those teleprompters out of here. Whoa.
Oh, his ankle gives out like a model on the runway.
Yeah. There was a funny tweet that someone did that was reminding me of DeSantis, and it's true.
It says, the kid at school that was always blowing his nose and carried a briefcase.
It's kind of true. It's kind of true.
I don't know. I don't know. You might be getting blinded.
I'm getting blinded for
Yeah.
sure.
You might
I'm
be
going
getting
too far.
You might be getting blinded.
And there'll be something that happens where I'll need DeSantis' help. Like in Florida, like someone will throw like a brick through my window or something, and I'll need a governor something.
Yeah, you're setting
And
yourself
they're
up.
going to go,
Denied.
how tall is he?
Weren't you
And
doing-
I'm going to say 5'11". All right.
Sure, just answer one question. How tall is Ron?
He's about 6 foot. He's about 6 feet tall.
He's about 5'11".
5'11". So he said 5'11". All right, we have an update. Remember last episode we did the trans draft?
Yeah.
We got some pushback. People weren't happy with the picks. Some people said, what about Gorlock?
Everyone was saying, where's Gorlock? Where's Gorlock? I admit that was an oversight. Gorlock should have at least made honorable mention. Gorlock the Destroyer.
Oh, yeah. Gorlock should have been a top 3 pick.
But Gorlock is not necessarily what I think of when I think of like the trans movement. Like they're not loud on social media about being trans or how kids need puberty blockers or how I'm so happy now like Elliot Page.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's just kind of I don't want to say freak, but it's just kind of a gargantuan freak.
It's a big fat girl.
Big fat girl, you know? I don't know. Gorlock doesn't really bother anybody. Goes on with those dumb streamers.
Yeah. Gorlock's like a bit.
Yeah, so it's
Gorlock's not trying to push an agenda.
Yeah, so I don't know what the role would be on the starting team. Like, it's not really a role player. Everybody else is like pushing the agenda, and they're enemies of ours. Gorlock's just kind of like out there vibing and getting smoked on the internet every day.
Yeah.
Which that takes a lot, you know?
Yeah.
The other one that was brought to our attention was Jennifer Pritzker, sister of Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. So this is like a huge old lady. Huge fat old lady. Jennifer. Part of the
man.
Pritzker family, and I think a 70-something-year-old, 73-year-old. So yeah, keep
That
it up,
didn't just
Jennifer.
happened to your dad.
That's the scary part.
That's the really scary part.
Well, the Pritzkers, I mean, I wonder if, this is more your schizo zone. Who'd they have to pay? Who'd they have to do?
Maybe there's a deal. There's a long game where J.D. Pritzker is going to become like the governor of America or whatever.
J.D. Pritzker is going to become the governor of America or whatever. Thank you. You wrote that down? Was that in your pages?
No, I just thought that.
Okay, good work.
And there was also the person, remember the person, the trans person who was filming themselves
Correcting.
getting misgendered?
Yeah, Mr. Sir is what our placeholder was.
Mr. Sir, we didn't really have a name. It was this person right here who was filming every waiter calling them Sir. So I was thinking for a name, and tell me, let's work this out with me, okay? It's obviously a lady, so Mr. or Miss?
Miss.
Miss.
Duh.
And then they're obsessed with
Sir.
gender.
Yeah, misgender.
Misgender.
Okay.
That's my pick, and it's pretty much locked unless you, right now, have something way better. Which is fine if you don't.
I like Mr. Sir. I'm sticking with Mr. Sir. You can have misgender. I'll have Mr. Sir, and I will respond to both names knowing who it is. So.
All right. I like misgender. He likes Mr. Sir. Let us know in the comments what you guys like better. All right. The other day we were walking in town and we saw slow-moving paramedics.
No hustle.
Slower than Pizza Man speed.
Yeah.
Pizza Man is like, all right, I got a hot pizza, and it's getting less hot every second, and they have a little bit of pep in their step. It's not a lot, but it's like a Domino's hustle.
Yeah.
We were watching these guys. I thought it looked like they were unloading like medical, like unloading music equipment or something.
Yeah. These paramedics had no pep. They had no dog in them. And it was like they were going into a high rise.
Probably like a dying old woman in her condo.
Yeah.
And they just kind of were going in.
Nonchalant.
Slow, hey. It was crazy to see. So
I thought you knew what you signed up for if you were a paramedic. Like there are TV shows like Chicago Medic about you, and none of them ever walk slow.
Never.
So I don't know. All paramedics in St. Petersburg are on notice.
Yeah.
We caught you.
And everywhere too. And if you guys can film slow moving paramedics and then shout out the podcast, I'll send you a t-shirt.
Hey, hustle up. Fleccas Talks The Podcast.
Yeah. If you do something like that, you'll get merch.
And it was clearly on their way to an emergency. Lights were flashing. They had the little thing. I don't know. I didn't know what to make of it.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. That is the end of housekeeping. Before we get into Cringe of the Week, we have a message from Bonus Land. Ding, 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 Bonus Land.
Hey, what's up? You were a full adult and your mom was calling Pizza Hut for you? I thought this was like 17, high school.
No.
You were a full adult and your mom was calling?
Yeah. Bonus content, bonus content, bonus content. 4 hours of bonus content a month. We give you about 8 hours of the public show and then 4 hours of paywall content a month. 30-minute bonus lands after every public episode.
If you replace the city council with 5 right-wingers right now, this would come back.
Well, if we elect Trump, it's over. It's already over. You have nothing.
Kiss it goodbye.
I'm just living here. Here's my life. I'm living here in the green screen room. You guys want to help me? I mean, join Bonus Land. I'll get a bed.
Yeah. It's getting gaslit. It's like Dexter Morgan.
Yeah.
Like, dude, oh, wow. Oh, Sheriff, why are you arresting me? No, he's dead? Wow. When he fucking killed him.
And they go, but you don't have to worry unless you're eating it more than once a week. And it's like, that's exactly what I was doing.
Do you guys have any side projects going on?
Also, I'm working on a little bit of a comedy special.
I mean, this is Bonus Land. We riff. It's looser.
We
got some clips.
We got some funny stories. We got some inside scoop.
We got some inside scoops that we can.
Do we have any good ones we can tell?
No, we can't. No.
We have some now that we'll tell. Join FleccasTalks.com today. First month is on me. You'll love it.
We'll see you in Bonus Land.
Thank you to Bonus Land. Make sure you guys are signed up. The link is in the description.
Thank you, Bonus Land.
Thank you, Bonus Land. All right, we have a great Cringe of the Week. We have 3 pages of cringe. One of them is a full racism section that rolls right into Urban Decay.
Okay.
But first, we're going to get into the trans shit.
Okay.
All right, the AI misgendering.
Filter keeps misgendering me. Look.
We've seen this before. Mm-hmm. The filter knows you're a man.
No fucking way. No way. Okay, we're gonna try this.
Yep. Doesn't work out.
Hell no. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So that's enough. We get it.
Yeah.
Freaking transphobic facial recognition AI technology.
Fucking transphobic, geometric shape, math, AI, lifeless, humanless algorithm.
Yeah.
Such a joke.
Yeah. The other day, Rapboy and I were in the car, and we were driving by a coffee shop, and there was like a trans worker out front of the coffee shop, like cleaning up a table or something. Maybe a trans.
Yeah.
But, you know, and I was thinking, like, which this is something I would never do. I would actually never do this. Mm-hmm. But if I had opened the window and been like, hey, you trans freak, and like yelled that, which I would never do, that would like ruin that guy's life.
Or day, at least, at a minimum.
At least day, probably week. And it would be like, that's the trans hate we're up against. That's the biggest problem in society. Like, we need to stop this. I was just yelled at. You wouldn't believe what someone said. But it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
On Halloween, when I walked around, 3 cars, different cars said, hey, DJ Khaled. I don't think about that at all.
Yeah. And I mean, that's just, that you are DJ Khaled. Same upper body strength, same gut shape, same arms, everything. Let's go golfing. That's you. So you know it.
Well, DJ Khaled is a 5'8".
Same.
That's
Same
not true.
everything.
I'm 6'1".
All right.
All right. So
You were 6'1". You're now down to 6. You're shrinking every year.
Fine, I'm 6.
Admit it to the camera.
Maybe. I was 6'1" at the doctor's office like 10 years ago.
There you go. It's not about what you are now. It's where you peaked out at.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing of like yelling at a trans person and it ruining their life, like why do they care so much? And then also it's like, you care about what I say? I thought I was some MAGA dreg of the earth scumbag.
Transphobic bigot.
Like you care now that you care about what I say, and then everyone's like, oh, everyone's mean to trans people. That's why they kill themselves. They kill themselves because they're mentally ill, not because everyone's mean to them.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. So there's something to think about. But it's like if you yell at someone one thing, it can just flip their life upside down. People yell things at me all the time, and I don't let it do anything bad to me.
Fair.
So I'm going to keep in mind. All right, let's move on. The makeup, the male lip filler guy.
To get a fuller lip, trim the hair around the mouth. Use a razor for a clean line. Use a lip liner slightly darker than your natural color around the perimeter of the lips. Pat on a peachy lip color and lip balm. Brow pencil to add depth to the edges of the mouth. Brush the edges. Dimensional sheer lips. DSLs.
Looks like he got stung by a bee.
No. He's like, do this, do this, do this. No. Not doing any of that, you fucking...
That Excessivist had a good tweet about this that summed it up.
He said, feminists decided makeup was sexist because it was meant to seek attention from males by mimicking sexual arousal. This backfired because too many women like wearing makeup. They reoriented behind, I wear it for me. Now when you tell them makeup is designed to mimic sexual arousal, they'll call you sexist. What psychological demons cause a man to want to mimic the sexual arousal of a young, healthy woman is something I'd rather not investigate.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And you know that
open and shut case. I opened it and I shut it, you know?
You open it, you look and go,
and I'm not touching that.
Not going in.
Yeah.
You know the saying, hard times create strong men create good times create
weak men.
Weak men want to wear a lip plumper and fuck your kid.
Yeah.
So that's what that is alluding to.
What was that last part? The fuck you're kidding? You might be slandering someone. We do have
I said
a show.
alluding to. That's what he's alluding to.
Okay.
Not him. I don't know that guy, what he's up to.
Yeah.
Fuller lips. He's alluding to the people wearing makeup.
Gotcha.
Okay. You know how...
Okay.
Maybe I don't say this next part. I was going to say, but I decided not to. You know how they used to do lobotomies back in the day?
Of course.
And everyone goes, oh, that was so messed up. You just scramble people's brains?
Yeah, Rosemary Kennedy. She's on basically life support now.
And there's no one really arguing the other side of it.
Where lobotomies were good, some people did need to be lobotomized.
Some people maybe need to mellow out. Maybe some people are on some unhinged shit.
Yeah.
And they could have maybe just chilled him out and made him like a better person in society.
Okay.
Something to think about.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's go to that trans family headline.
Yeah, author comes out as transgender man after his wife came out as trans woman, and pair who have a trans daughter now live in a 4-way relationship with their trans lovers. So that's 5 trans people, including a daughter, trans daughter.
But they're also transitioned, so it's actually 5 trans men who were women or whatever. So it's like 10 total people. Yeah. It's like a swap, you know?
So you know how like everyone says like we kind of brought up the diversity as our strength, homogeneity, like living in a homogenous area. White people are starting to just get gay. Mm-hmm. So like the white areas are now super gay areas.
Yeah,
which is kind of a major L for us.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I don't want to live in a black neighborhood most of the time. Those aren't well maintained. All the food deserts there that evil Whitey plotted against them.
Mm-hmm. And then Whitey breaks all the windows. And
Whitey breaks the windows, makes sure all the Kias and Hyundais go missing.
Yeah.
The white man does that. But the white areas are turning super gay now.
Yeah. And then this is kind of like the white version of an urban headline.
Exactly. So this is like no jumper. Trans.
And then like... So exactly. The no jumper headline for white people is this weird shit. Mm-hmm. And then it's like there's a thing where like, all right, black people are overrepresented in crime. White people are overrepresented in all this gay shit.
Super overrepresented.
So it goes, everyone's got their thing.
We all got issues, I guess. So.
Yeah. It's not like a racist show or a sexist show or LGBT phobic show. We just point out what everyone's problems are.
There's just a lot of problems in America right now.
And there's uplifting gold at the end, so you don't get too down or too depressed.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Here's what the kids are learning in school, the BDSM kink thing.
Yeah, this is what they're focusing on now in colleges. This sign is for a BDSM kink, and drag training was spotted at UW Platteville.
And here's the schedule. It's the Rainbow Rave Conference, 10 a.m., rural and queer mental health. And then 10 to 12 is mental health day, 12 to 1 is BDSM and kink 101, and then 1 to 2 is drag. That's the schedule at this school.
Thank God they have a break for mental health break.
Yeah. So that's what they have at the school. I was talking to Richard about this a couple days ago. You know how obviously the younger generations like socialism and communism?
Yeah.
They need that. And like universal basic income, they need that because they're so stupid.
Yeah.
And then like the powers that be actually backdoored us into like needing something like that by making them like lazy and completely useless. So it's like eventually they'll get replaced by like a decent AI for some email job they had before. And they're going to go, well, I have no skills and I live in the city and my rent's $2,000. I need like $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
And it's like, you almost make sense. It does make sense that these people will need that UBI and socialism because they were made so stupid that they literally have no other way of making money.
Yeah.
And then here's the bathroom. Someone sent me this. Look at this male bathroom sign.
He's got to pee.
He's got to pee. Is that what he looks like?
Yeah.
That's what the men look like. They just did a thing.
Hey, yeah, you could put your lip filler on in there, I guess, in that bathroom.
Let's go to the bottoming dog story and make you read it.
Yeah. I actually enjoyed this one because this rings true to me. And this was going viral, and it was posted on Reddit. My dog won't listen to me anymore after he saw me bottoming, getting F'd in the A. I'd rather not go too into specifics, but I had a guy over a couple weeks ago for a hookup, and I forgot to close the door. So my Akita I've had for 2 years wandered in while we were going at it. The guy was being pretty rough, and I was getting into it, moaning, being slutty, bottom things. And until the top pointed out that the dog, he just refers to him as the top. They're like interchangeable pieces. The guy who was banging me pointed out the dog was watching us. I got him out of the room and closed the door, but since then, my dog doesn't seem to want to listen to me, respect my authority, or even spend much time with me. I try to pet or hug him, and he growls or moves away. That wasn't the case before. I know homophobic dog sounds ridiculous, but is it possible that since he saw me in submissive position, he doesn't want to listen to me anymore?
Yeah.
That's like one of the 3 things that dogs know.
Yeah, dogs know like food, sex, and what's
that, like getting safety, threats.
Yeah.
They know threats. They know food, threats, and then getting fucked. Yeah. So you were doing that one, and you weren't the guy in that. So the dogs, it's over. And it's Akita is a strong breed.
He's not gonna
listen.
He's not gonna go
Kidding
back
me?
on his beliefs.
Put him up for adoption. Give him a chance to get with a masculine family out on a farm somewhere because it's over for you guys.
All right, moving on. We're still in Cringe. We have like a long racism section of Cringe now. Stop white hate. So this was a sign posted at a school that said "Stop white hate," and it's be a long clip, but it's very important.
Just listen to all the reactions around it, right?
A racist sign was found near Bellingham High School, and frustrated parents want to know what's happening inside the school. WBZ's Christina Hager's live in Bellingham tonight. Christina, the school says hate has no place on its campus.
Elisa, the superintendent sent out an email this week saying he's deeply saddened and that the school staff works hard to create an environment where all students can feel like they belong. But some parents here say more needs to be done.
Stop white hate, said the sign near the entrance of Bellingham High School. Police say 2 residents removed it when they saw it Saturday and brought it here to the police department, concerned about the tone.
I don't know what led to it. I don't know why they put it up there. I don't know if it was a parent that's upset because of the way things are going.
Since the spot is removed from the high school building, police say there are no security cameras where someone had propped the sign up along the main road.
There are hate crimes, right? And they have hate crime rules in the school, so enforce them.
It has some parents
So
concerned.
hate crime.
Stop white hate equals a hate crime.
Yeah.
Poorly spray painted, like just on a sign.
And saying stop hate against white people is a problem, which means that it's a problem, meaning that if you're not against white people, you're problematic.
That's what I've been told and reinforced from the mainstream news everywhere.
Stop white
basically.
hate is not an acceptable position. And that means that the acceptable position is that
allow white hate.
Yeah. And then to also recap, don't forget BLM. Remember BLM?
Mm-hmm.
They needed to be fully accepted, even though BLM didn't actually mean Black Lives Mattering.
Yeah.
But stop white hate needs to be fully rejected because it secretly means something else,
Yeah.
something sinister.
I feel like a Key and Peele skit or something. Like this is okay. Yeah. So allow white hate is the inverse to that.
Which is what needs to happen because it's racist to say stop white hate. We have to allow white hate.
Crazy.
Yeah. And Medic Sisyphus had a good tweet about basically this.
He said, it's hard for normal people to understand what progressives mean when they say structural racism. They mean any system that doesn't cater to the black community's current behavior patterns. If black behavior patterns result in underachievement, it's the system that needs to change. If reading to your kids helps them in school, then a system that rewards kids who enjoy reading or doing their work is racist and needs to change. The only rule is that you must never criticize black behavior. The world needs to bend to fit their behavior.
Yeah. So this is the problem.
Yeah.
Let's let that video keep going. It gets good towards the end.
They have hate crime rules in the school, so enforce them.
It has some parents concerned. Tiara Bacchus's daughter told her about it after the superintendent sent this email calling it deplorable.
She kind of said it nonchalant, like it's okay. And we just kind of looked like, how is this okay? And how are you going to just send out an email and expect everything to be fine? It's heartbreaking.
She says it's not the first time her kids...
So
Nothing happened. Yeah. These people are going crazy. Nothing happened. A sign showed up for a little bit.
That didn't even say anything offensive.
Yeah.
If it was stop black crime.
That would be
racially insensitive,
but would be correct. But
what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know what area are we in? Is there a lot of black crime? I don't know.
But the superintendent sent an email out to the whole school, and they said it was a sign with a racially charged message, which didn't say what it actually said.
Yeah.
So that actually lets it become worse, because if the sign said, a racially charged sign that said stop white hate.
Yeah, what did it say? People
would go, what? That's not even a big deal. But they omit what was said, and they just say a racially charged message. So it goes to the worst possible place in everyone's imagination, where it's probably the N-word or probably something really bad. And that just reaffirms the fake narrative that black people are constantly under attack.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
When, if you look at the stats, if anything, they're disproportionately doing the attacking.
I would say so.
But people aren't saying that, but
I'll wait till Urban Decay to make a judgment there.
Yeah, but it's one of those opposite things where you need to release a message to the whole school so everyone still believes that black people are under attack, even though what was said had nothing to do with that, and if anything, white people are under attack.
Yeah.
So it's hard to keep up. Let's go to the reparations woman. She kind of makes it easy to understand.
Yeah, let's watch this white woman nod along to whatever insane words come out of this person's mouth.
Yeah.
White people, I need you to know that your money will not assuage you from your guilt. You cannot pay your way out of this. There aren't enough reparations in the world that you can pay us. And so you think because you write a check or you slide me something in Venmo that you're absolved and you can tell somebody, well, I gave Dr. Blay $100. I'm not racist. Dr. Blay is going to spend your $100 and still tell you that you're racist. Thank you.
Yeah. So all white people are racist. You're guilty. You owe someone money for that. And even if you pay that money, it doesn't actually do anything. You're still back to square one.
Yeah.
So why are we playing games with these type of people? And look at this stupid, worthless person just nodding. And then they're complaining about stop white hate as a thing. You could say the most insane shit on earth. You're guilty. You owe us money. And the money's actually not even going to help.
But just give it to us anyway.
And I'm going to spend it. But, stop white hate is some fucking national tragedy.
Yeah. And with reparations, what I don't understand, the idea is we need to give money to black people today because someone they were related to 200 years ago was enslaved, and that money is owed to them now.
Yeah.
But then there's also people that are related to black people now who are doing crimes and murders, but you don't owe any reverse reparations for that.
Yeah, my teenage son did a drive-by and he shot and killed an innocent person, and that person was white. Nobody owes anybody money for that.
No one goes to that person and goes, hey, you owe us some money because someone got shot and then someone you're related to, and they would go, no, I'm not that person.
Yeah.
I don't owe any money.
They're paying for their crimes. They're in jail now.
Yeah.
And so I guess it's because someone didn't pay during that time, then now someone has to pay, and it's whoever's white, whoever looks white.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, your great-great-great-great-grandfather, he was a slave. We owe you money. But your cousin LaDavion just robbed a convenience store. And
that's clean. That's clean. That's current day, but that's clean.
Even though that was right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, something to think about. All right, last thing. Two things. Xbox lady.
Yeah.
This is an Xbox lady.
My name is Sarah Bond. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the head of ecosystem for Xbox.
Hey, Budlight, hold my beer. I want to wreck this whole company. Oh, man. Remember Budlight said we don't want to be a fratty beer company anymore?
Yeah.
And it blew themselves out?
Of course.
I think Xbox is going to do something similar. It's actually similar vibes, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe they'll do a thing where like they'll try to limit the use of the N-word on their live streams or on their servers or whatever. People chatting.
I think they already do that.
So they're trying to do that, and I think it's going to work.
Yeah.
I think the usage of the N-word will really go down, and not everyone's just going to go get a PS5 because Sony doesn't do shit like that.
All right, fair. Maybe. I mean, Xbox is owned by Microsoft, so they're a gigantic, mega, biggest market cap company or second.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to be tough, but yeah, hire a lady like that, and you're going to get some Bud Light type shit. So
toodles to your company. All right, last piece of cringe racism before we get into urban decay, where it overlaps. This kid was suspended from high school or from middle school?
Mm-hmm.
From middle school.
He's 13.
So this kid was suspended because he did eye black on his face, and they said it was blackface.
Yeah. So here it is.
This kid with braces.
Yes. 13-year-old kid with braces did a little too much eye black. This much is cool. This much going down is also cool. But when you connect at the chin, then it's blackface. Yeah. So
why didn't he do the forehead and his nose?
I don't know. I don't think he was doing blackface. And then I think some teachers got a little weird and thought it was a hate crime of some kind.
Yeah, so they got to crack down. Yeah. We played football for like most of our life.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen people do eye black like that every game.
Raccoon eyes. I've seen a bunch of different ones.
I've seen all kinds of shit.
Yeah. So
and no one goes, "Are you making fun of black people?" You're being mean. Those people can't do anything. You're in trouble.
He puts on his face black face eye black and goes, "Good morning." Yeah. that's how they used to make fun of us.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the end of cringe. We are now moving on to urban decay, but kind of related. That kid was 13 who got suspended for the eye black.
Mm-hmm.
We have some. Here's what 12-year-olds are up to in D.C.
Yeah, 12-year-old faces judge for fatal D.C. carjacking attempt after his mom turns him in. So we saw a 13-year-old got killed trying to carjack someone who fired his gun. And then the 12-year-old accomplice, his mom turned him in. So here's the quote they have about Vernard. Vernard was a smart and talented student who created personal relationships not only with his schoolmates, but also with many of the staff here at Kelly Miller. Reads part of the letter sent by the 13-year-old's principal on Monday. He had a natural comedic ability and loved to make people laugh, especially when he would joke that he was the principal of Kelly Miller Middle School.
He was a good boy, didn't do anything wrong.
He also loved carjacking on the side.
Loved doing carjackings every week. Loved to make people laugh.
Yeah, it was great.
Loved cars.
And then, so while I was searching this up, because we just wanted to kind of report on that and just make sure everybody knew, I found this other article, 11-year-old boy arrested, considered a prolific carjacker. An 11-year-old boy was arrested in a recent carjacking in Chicago, and police are calling him a prolific carjacker. And this was from a year-ish ago. Monday, that an 11-year-old boy is now in custody for a Chicago carjacking earlier this month, calling it a sad state of affairs. Unfortunately, this 11-year-old has been arrested before, and he is considered a prolific carjacker. He is now charged with one felony count of aggravated vehicular hijacking with a firearm. And I just want to get to this Lori Lightfoot quote. This was about back when Lori Lightfoot was mayor. Mayor Lori Lightfoot also reacted to the news of such a young child arrested in connection with such a serious offense. I'm going to be meeting with the juvenile judges here relatively soon to address that issue, Lightfoot said. We have a crisis, and it's a crisis that they have to own some responsibility for. The judges? We cannot keep putting these kids back out on the streets with no support, no resources, no monitoring. Well, we got to babysit. Put him in fucking juvie. We got to babysit everyone, a prolific carjacker?
Well, they're in trouble. They're going to probably get sent home to their parent that's never disciplined them before, and they're going to get disciplined.
Yeah, this time it's different because you really got in carjacking trouble this time.
There was a video that just came out. It was a local news about a person who was mugged, and the muggers were 12-year-olds again, and they were released immediately.
Boom. Puncher, kicker.
The victim is now speaking with 11 News.
Am I going to get shot? Because that you don't know. That can happen, you know? You don't know. That's what I was thinking.
She says they then stole her keys and ran off. McCowan was able to help police track them down. The attackers, a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old, both boys taken into custody.
They were arrested, and then within a few hours, they were released back onto the street.
There you go.
That's how you solve violent crime. A few hours of timeout.
I bet when they get to like 18, this will all be out of their system, and they'll be normal members of society going to college somewhere.
Yeah, they'll probably get in on a scholarship somewhere. They'll leave all this crime behind, violent crime as well, mugging someone. So, yeah, we have those guys to look forward to. And, I'm just waiting. This is the game we play, right? With all this catch and release. It's not that serious. You kick the can down the road, and then someone gets raped or shot or like seriously brain damaged. And then they go to jail for 22 years.
And they go, this guy's been arrested 40 times. And
Yeah.
you go, oh, well, now we got him.
So I guess the main point of this whole thing is 12, 13, whatever, little kid in a hoodie, head on a swivel. They're doing crime at any age, and you have no idea what this person's life experience is. That could have been his 10th mugging. And he's a 14-year-old, It just kept working. He's too dumb to know, right and wrong or...
Too young to go to jail.
Probabilities, and he knows he'll get out on the street in 3 hours, and his parents won't discipline him. So they're not afraid of their parents. They're not afraid of the state. They're not afraid of you, the victim. So, I mean, head on a swivel. Even the 10 and... those kids look too young to do anything.
Like that's actually worse because they're like too stupid to actually think about consequences.
Yeah.
Worse. Like they'll shoot you and not think they're shooting a person.
Yeah. But that kid put on the eye black at the middle school. So, that's even Steven.
Mm-hmm. That was a problem. All right, let's move on to our next clip. The lady who's mad that Target's all locked up.
Yeah, this lady, I guess, is a podcast watcher.
Yeah.
Or something.
Tell me why it just took me an entire hour for this single bag of items. I'll tell you why. It's because they're essential. And apparently now my Target locks away all essential items. So while you could get like $40 La Roche-Posay or makeup that was sitting out, my $8 body wash was locked away, as was my deodorant and my husband's body wash and his razors and like the basic things that I went to Target to get. Behold, the dystopian nightmare that is my Target now. Look at it. And I, like many other former Target lovers, was planning on perusing the fall items, maybe sniffing a candle or two, maybe buying what I didn't need. But I was literally fighting for my life in that store.
That helps us with our Target short.
Yeah,
because like, people they're just going to order online because they're not going to feel like waiting for someone to get their shit and then wait in line with the one person working the register.
Yeah. But I mean, the main point of this is the girl is kind of figuring out like, hey, wow, everything affects everything, right? Social cohesion and like shame and people playing by the rules actually ends up with a common result of a store you enjoy instead of a store that thinks of every customer as a potential adversary that they have to play defense against.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Should we end cash bail again?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't know if she's learning any lessons or like understands that stealing is bad and criminals need to be locked up in order for a healthy society to thrive. But yeah, Target closed, I think, 8 stores in a bunch of different places. They've written letters to Congress about how bad shoplifting is, and I don't know. It doesn't look to be improving to me.
Yeah, but because of George Floyd, you got to defund the police and have less people of color in jail.
Yeah.
And here's your thing. You made a great point. Target looks at everyone coming into their store as a potential thief now.
Yeah.
Not as a customer. It used to be, customer's always right. We got to help our customers. We're going to make our experience for our customers as good as possible. And now it's like, you might be stealing. Everything's locked up.
And then, so what's the next step? What happens next? Everything's locked up. The shopping experience.
That should solve it.
Yeah, that should solve it. Let's just play this quick video.
Yeah. So these guys they're getting help. They're having the guy come over and unlock the liquor cabinet.
Yeah.
He brings them, and then they're like, we want some more. So the guy's got to open the cabinet again. Okay, you guys want more liquor? Okay, don't know. Opens the cabinet, and then they rush it and start stealing it. And that's what you get. So even with it all locked up, they're still going to try and steal it.
So what's the next step? What's the next step?
I think the next step would be you come in and there's like a third party.
Yeah.
There's a guy.
A middleman.
And you hand him the cash. And then he goes with you to the thing you want. He takes your liquor. He puts it into a briefcase. Closes that briefcase. There's a lock on it that only he knows. He takes the handle. He puts a handcuff on it, and then he handcuffs it to his wrist.
Okay.
Then you go to the register where the independent guy does the switch for the cash for the thing. The code is released. He unlocks the thing, hands people the liquor.
Yeah.
That would work.
Yeah.
Takes 3 hours to buy
Takes
something.
3 hours in a low trust society.
2 keys at once need to be turned.
Yeah.
But
here's the thing too. It's like perspective wise, in the broader sense of America, it's like, what are America's biggest problems right now? And it's like that affect every random person, right? Mm-hmm. It's like catalytic converter theft. Mm-hmm. Everybody just gets like a $2,000 charge to fix their car. Shoplifting, stolen cars, Kias, Hyundais, whatever, all that stuff. And it's like, has anybody thought to put harsher penalties on these things temporarily for the next year or two, just to see if we can ebb and flow with this? No, it's just like we're slowly watching cities go to shit. We're slowly watching all your favorite companies now play defense instead of trying to address the problem, which is disincentivizing these shitty behaviors. Mm-hmm. No one's an adult. It's Joe Biden's America. You know, cup of coffee at Starbucks is $7. But, you know, we shouldn't change anything. We should just, you know, learn to live with it, I guess.
I don't know. Vote for Trump?
Yeah. Be racist? I don't know.
Racist. That's reparations. Yeah. That's what you have to give back because society can't be good because of the racist history we have as a country.
Now you're getting it.
That's actually it.
Yep.
It's like they think it's like a price to pay for equality finally. Yeah. So it's like, we have to let people of color do crimes and we can't arrest them and the cops can't do their job because, you know, we are a racist country. And what? That makes everything even?
Yeah. And you know who's actually owed reparations? Target.
Yeah.
Target got shit stolen from them the last 10 years like heavy. They're like, all right, we got a $5 billion fucking reparations bill here.
Yeah,
Target needs reparations, right?
All right, let's go to that last clip of Urban.
The thieves leave.
Yeah, we're going to cut the volume on this because there's music we can't play. But these ladies are coming out of the store. They're confronted by police. She's got long blonde hair.
Oh, that's cultural
appropriating white people.
Yep.
Appropriating Nordics.
Yep. Those are my people, the Scandies. Here's the cops. Caught you red-handed.
So the cops caught her, and then they have to go back in with all their stuff. And here they go, fast forwarded a little bit. They're going back in, and they leave the baby.
They forget their baby that they were shoplifting with. Lovely people.
They left the baby.
Yeah.
And so then Walmart comes and brings the baby back in.
Yeah, the Walmart worker. That's what she should be spending her time on. And you know what? It's like in a sane world, they'd say, oh, wow, committing a felony with a baby. You know, they'd escalate all these things like child endangerment, DCFS, all this shit. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know what happened here, but I'm guessing it wasn't much more than a slap on the wrist.
They probably just have to put all the stuff back in the store and then leave and then try again when the cops aren't right outside.
Yeah, the people who don't feel shamed, who don't feel shame at all, they have to go through a shaming ritual, but they don't care. That's not going to stop them. So, you know, nice use of everyone's time there.
Yeah, and then the employees will be trained to, like, not stop anyone.
Yeah.
So everyone's got to go through their training. All right, don't get too down. Don't get too depressed. We're moving on to Uplifting Gold. We don't even have a lot of Uplifting Gold this week.
Yeah, so stay down. Stay a little depressed.
Be a little angry. You need a little salt in your mouth, a little fire under your ass.
Yeah, maybe it'll motivate you for the rest of the week.
Let's go to the turtle people first. This is nice.
It's Turtle Day. Let's go bury the turtles. Our family's box turtles, Squirtle and Jellybean, are ready to hibernate through the winter, so it's time to bury them. We've been helping our pet box turtles safely hibernate, or as it's known in reptiles, brumate, through the winter for almost 25 years. Every fall, when they're ready, we bury them deep underground. They need to be cold to brumate properly, but not frozen, and in our region, being buried about 18 inches down will keep them at a steady cold temperature just above freezing. Wild box turtles bury themselves, but our captive-born turtles need help to make sure they are deep enough to survive the sub-freezing temperatures and snowy winters we get here in the Midwest. After we put Squirtle and Jellybean in the hole, we cover them with loose dirt and leaves, and they're ready for their long nap. They're going to stay down there for about 5 months. All that's left to do is put a ring of rocks around the hole so we know exactly where to dig them up in the spring. Good night, Squirtle and Jellybean. We'll see you in April.
That's uplifting.
Squirtle and Jellybean?
What if you're in there? You're like, I'm not ready to be buried
That's
yet.
what That's what I thought. Hibernation with no choice.
Yeah. And you
All
just
right.
get suffocated like that? Where do they breathe?
I don't know.
You just get covered in dirt? What do they breathe?
I don't know. I think they slow everything down and they don't even really need to breathe that much or something, but I'm not sure.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah. All right. Nice uplifting. What do you got next?
Because then if you think about breathing, you need to breathe. And if you're a bear, you're in like a cave, right?
Uh-huh.
You kind of just asleep.
Yeah.
Those things need to go, and then there's dirt everywhere.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't Google this beforehand. I have no answers here.
Well,
You
see.
should have the answers.
We'll see in April when they pull out the bodies and go,
They said they've been doing it 25 years, so I trust them.
I trust them. We're not down or depressed. It's uplifting.
All right, let's move on to the face tattoo girl.
Yeah. Hey, this next thing is uplifting. Anyone can find love.
Yes, do it.
There she is. She's getting a tattoo. Kevin. She loves Kevin.
She loves Kevin. Kevin found a girl.
Kevin found his wife, and he loves her. And she loves him. So that's uplifting.
That's very uplifting. She loves it. And Kevin found a girl that really likes him.
Yeah.
Okay. She clearly really likes Kevin.
Done?
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
great. Congrats to Kevin. If you're a show watcher, we'll send you a base mug.
Nice job, Kevin.
Congrats on your girlfriend.
Yep.
She really likes you. All right, let's go to the old lady saying, "Why are you single?" This is funny.
I'm 38.
I've never been married. Have you ever been married?
Really, Nana?
38 years old.
Really?
I've never been married. No children or nothing. You sure missed a lot of life.
Why do I have to get married and have kids to have a good life?
You do have no good life.
I do.
You don't go nowhere.
I do. I just got back from a trip.
By yourself, no man. If you don't have a man, you ain't nothing.
Really? I'm not nothing without a man, huh?
You're not a lesbian, are you?
Are you?
No, I had a husband till he died, huh?
I still have sex.
You what?
I still have sex.
I know you do, but that's not right. That's dirty. Sleeping around like a...
It's one person. One person.
Sleeping around like a...
That's funny.
Yeah, that's like Jesse Lee Peterson's mom. Like a slut and a lesbian.
You a lesbian. You slut. Yeah,
it's good. Hey, it's good to see someone shame someone, right?
And there's what was lost generations ago. You know,
Mm-hmm.
is what was
It was
versus
ingrained
what is.
in Granny.
Yeah,
ingrained to be shamed.
And
like
like Granny probably doesn't remember anything. She's like asking, "Have you ever been married?" So
Yeah.
it's like she lost her memory, but she does know what's true and right.
I don't think the phrase "baby daddy" was around during Grandma's time.
Definitely not.
And the decline,
Especially, exactly. And that's the point Jesse Lee Peterson makes a lot too. And we love Jesse Lee.
Yep. Here's another Jesse Lee type.
Here's another Jesse Lee type.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could please have your attention for one moment. We have a special guest in our dining room today. This is Corporal Joe Hayes. He served in World War II in the Asia Pacific as a field technician. He's 101 years old. So if you guys could please give him a round of applause.
That's nice.
Good for them.
Isn't that a nice way to end the show?
Yeah. World War II, that's the anything in the Middle East recently, thank you for your service. But man, World War II was a different level of war.
Yeah, it really was. And those guys, once they're gone, we're in charge of, the boomers are in charge of us, and we're in charge of Gen Z. And then once the boomers go, we're in charge of Gen Z, and Gen Z's retarded.
Yeah, we're fucked.
We're fucked. We're going to take all of their money.
That's the new move. I think that's the new move. Rip them off.
Yeah.
Rip off Gen Z. They're too stupid.
Rip off Gen
They're
Z.
voting socialist anyway. Let's just rip them off beforehand.
I think that we're on to something there.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's the end of the show. Do you have anything you want to add?
No, nothing.
Hey, good episode. Thank you guys for watching. If you're still watching right now, you're going to love Bonus Land. We have a lot to talk about in Bonus Land today. There's a man on the street reporter talking to some sluts.
Okay.
And
I actually agree with one of the sluts this time.
Yeah.
It's actually funny. You should say that.
There's a single 29-year-old white wine girl in Bonus Land. There's a DEI lady.
Day in the life of a DEI woman.
Day in the life of a DEI woman.
We have good bits for that. You didn't put this in the main episode?
Nope. Bonus Land gets good stuff. Subway poop sandwich. And we're also going to debate, do you put your seat down on an airplane? Put your seat back.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a good debate that's happening in Bonus Land right now. FleccasTalks.com is the website to join. Join the community. We have a Discord too. We're all hanging out. So join now, and we will see you there. And if we don't see you there, we will see you Friday. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you at the next one.
It's a damn shame. And so, would I hide you? Yes.